After a crazy cinematic trailer last year that debuted a Suicide Squad tasked to kill the Justice League, we've got a new extended and in-engine trailer for the game, and it's full of first looks at many of the heroes, villains, allies, and enemies we'll be meeting in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. There's a lot to take in, and some cameos that raise a lot of questions, so let's dig in. In case you still weren't sure this game was set in Rocksteady's Arkhamverse, perhaps this opening shot will clue you in, as it directly mirrors Batman's approach to Arkham Asylum in Rocksteady's first game. You can even spot the Suicide Squad meeting Amanda Waller in the very same room Joker escaped from way back when. Waller is your taskmaster and has inserted devices into each of the squad's heads to deliver shocks or blow them up if they deviate from the mission. It seems she'll also be coming with you into the Metropolis war zone as she shows up in several scenes. In fact, as the squad marches past the statues of the big 5 superheroes in what looks to be the Hall of Justice, you can spot a box labeled Argus, which stands for Advanced Research Group Uniting Superhumans, aka Waller's government organization. In the comics, this group has taken a few forms, often working as a liaison to the Justice League, and sometimes even as a counterpart group. Could Argus already be looking to tear down and replace the Justice League as part of the Suicide Squad's objective to kill them all? The next scene features what seems to be your main gadget man, Gizmo, the short guy with the goggles and the jetpack. Gizmo is a small fry on the list of villains, but he's also a crazy inventor able to make deadly weapons out of just about anything. Judging by the assorted weapons like a bat-shaped glider on the wall behind them, it looks like you may also be raiding the Hall of Justice supply closet to outfit the squad with new tech, like Boomerang's teleporting weapon, Deadshot's masks, and Harley's grapple gun, not to mention her baseball bat with a small Batman toy strapped to the end. Speaking of making weapons out of anything, we see a brief scene later on what appears to be Gizmo driving a very shoddy Batmobile, complete with a bat signal for a headlight.
Just checking. We're all seeing that thing, right?
This has one-way ticket written all over it.
We also start getting a look at some of the more standard enemies Brainiac is going to throw at you, since you can't expect to go straight to killing the Justice League right from the start. These horrifying things have arm cannons growing out of their hands, and Brainiac's signature tentacles embedded into their bodies. There's more than one type. As you can see, smaller parasite-looking creatures running at the squad alongside more human-sized Brainiac zombies, and a very large creature that gets disemboweled by an unlikely ally, Wonder Woman. Yep, it looks like while most of the Justice League has been corrupted by Brainiac's influence, noted by their purple eyes and veiny marks around their faces, Wonder Woman seems to be the last hero fighting in Metropolis. It's not exactly clear if this is going to change the Suicide Squad's orders, given that they attack her while she's going for her shield, and she employs her signature reflecting bracelets, sword, and lasso. She may just be the only real hope we have at stopping the head honcho of the Justice League, Superman. We see her tangling with the Man of Steel in several shots, but it's unknown if she's technically on our side, or if our goals just only temporarily align. We get some first looks at some other members of the League, namely the Flash and the Green Lantern. It's interesting to note that the Flash gives the Suicide Squad a taunting monologue, which means he's not exactly a shambling mindless drone, but a fully functioning superhero that just happens to want to help Brainiac rule the world, or whatever he's playing.
What did you think would happen? You'd crawl out of your cells, swoop in, save the day?
Meanwhile, the Green Lantern seems to be based on John Stewart, and as you'd expect, he's able to summon a variety of things with the power of his ring to make dramatic entrances, or unload a giant arsenal of weapons. The one glaring omission so far is the one that's raised the most questions in this Arkhamverse, Batman. He's officially unmasked and presumed dead after the events of Arkham Knight, but his statue is still on display in the Hall of Justice, as well as scattered memorabilia across Metropolis. A very ominous scene shows a gauntleted hand that looks somewhat familiar, picking up a gun to point at Harley Quinn, where you can see a sign that looks like it says The Batman Experience in the background. Is this a tease of a new Batman? Given the firearm, we may just be seeing what's become of Jason Todd, aka the Red Hood, or heck, maybe it's some guy who stole a batsuit on display. Whatever it is, the lack of a reveal may point it to being somebody very important, perhaps even the replacement that would make your 5th Justice League target. As well as getting a look at the end of the trailer at the Penguin, who still looks just like he did in Arkham Knight, bottle glass monocle and all. There's also a quick tease of someone controlling plants. Is Poison Ivy reborn? The squad also meets up with what looks to be a LexCorp scientist. Lex Luthor is someone we haven't seen or heard about so far, unless you count an Easter egg voice message in Arkham Knight.
Mr. Wayne, Lex Luthor calling.
Given his constant battles with Superman, raiding the LexCorp lab might be a huge key to taking down the Man of Steel. The poor guy's head eventually goes splat, but based on Waller's reaction, this wasn't due to detonating a chip in the guy. So who's the culprit?
Task Force X. Your new mission is to kill the Justice League.
The new trailer has given us a lot of new information on who the Suicide Squad will work with and against on their mission to kill the Justice League. But there's plenty more mysteries and secrets we're gonna have to wait to get answered. Not least of all, what the heck is Brainiac's plan here, and can this squad of losers actually pull it off? Hopefully we'll learn more before the game arrives sometime in 2022. For more on the Suicide Squad, the Arkham games, and everything superhero related, stick with IGN.